reducing stress is very important. How to reduce stress? One of the most important things that we want to reduce stress is this. Now this is very useful in modern society now. A lot of successful people actually have this. Now you will check a lot of corporate leaders now, they actually practice mindfulness. And this mindfulness has become a very important subject, even in America. Now in US, every school has to have the teacher to teach mindfulness. And the children all learn mindfulness. They will all be asked to sit in the classroom and say, be mindful of what you are doing now. And they will all watch, I'm breathing, I'm relaxing, I'm stretching my nose. Fair enough, but just be at the present moment. And that calms them down and relieves their nerves. I remember a lot of Japanese business people. Japanese are very famous for whenever they go into any meetings or any discussion, they always spend a few minutes, close themselves up, and they just focus, calm themselves down, and then eventually focus their minds. Then they go into the meeting room, they then can argue and articulate and get the results that they want. And this is a success ingredient. The ingredient for success is that the mind, when it's very calm and peaceful, you think better. A lot of times, when you are desperate, when you are scared, when you are not confident, you always make mistakes. You always cannot be decisive. And when you cannot be decisive, you cannot make good decisions. And therefore, you will never be able to succeed. So success comes from the ability to pacify your minds. And mindfulness and meditation is a very important thing. Understanding this, there was one incident where we know that this group of Japanese is coming to negotiate. So he said, this group of Japanese, very good. They will all be focused, so we must move their focus. So we invite them out for karaoke. He says, come. He said, no problem. We go for karaoke, got whole night singing and the whole night drinking. Most of them already groggy. So he says, oh yeah, tomorrow morning when they come to the meeting, everything we all will win. So tomorrow meeting starts. In come the team, but it was a different team. That team that meditate one. Not go karaoke one. Now this is just an example. So there is a lot of benefits, and especially this is a very good teaching of the Buddha that we always like to value, even in our corporate life, even in our working life, even in our daily life. This has always proved useful to help us achieve our success. Now, this is now being introduced into a lot of corporate companies where they will spend about 5-10 minutes and teach them to calm down. And it's good also sometimes before a meeting, everybody do a bit of reflection and do a bit of coming down. The meeting will then go on very soon. So this is good corporate culture. So let me go through some of these principles that the Buddha has always encouraged. One is called the art of letting go. Now what do you mean by the art of letting go? Is that you are able to actually 放开放下 and don't hold it. Now remember, our mind and the characteristics of our mind, we call it a grasping mind. What do you mean by a grasping mind? Somebody come in front of you and say, you are so ugly. Wow, the mind pulls, the mind grasps. Wow, simpan dendam dalam hati. That night when he go back to the house and inside the room, he calls me ugly. Who do you think he is to call me ugly? What right has he got to call me ugly? Oh, am I really ugly? The moment we start to hold, that's called a grasping mind. And when you have a grasping mind, you are in a state of stress. You are in a state of tension. And that sometimes can be very painful. And what must you do? You must then release it. And if you are able to release all before you go to sleep, oh, guarantee you're going to sleep. That's why we say every night before you sleep, sit down, focus your mind, calm yourself down, and then release all the thoughts that you have accumulated throughout the day. Free it and let go. And when your mind is free, you are now very peaceful, you are now very calm. You will give your first yawn. Now go to sleep. Sure, wake up tomorrow, guarantee one. 7 o'clock in the morning means 7 o'clock in the morning. No drinks. Because the mind is free. And if we go with the mind still grasping, or at that night we will try to solve the problem and solve the solution. Find a solution. And you will be tossing and turning. And that is very important. That's why the Buddha always encourages us to let go. Remember the story about these 2 bhikkhus who were walking to a destination and they came to a river. And they saw this lady wanting to cross the river. And this lady was actually very afraid of water. They had not go inside the water. So was standing there and worried about how to cross the river. When these 2 monks came before and asked, what's your problem? He said, oh, I cannot cross the river because I don't have touch the water. So one of the monks then says, no problem. Madam, come. Go on my back. I will carry you and I will bring you across the river. The other monk said, oh my brother, you are a monk. You are a Chia. Cannot have a woman on your back. That is very sinful. You were dosa after don't know how many. Lady carried her across, and when he reached the other side of the river bank, he let go the lady there, and then he continued his journey together with his friend. Along the way, the friend is grumbling. Oh, I so pity you. Now you have dirty yourself. You have trained so hard to become a very good monk, and now you have actually what you call dosa already. So this monk turned to the other monk and says, my friend, I have left the lady at the river bank. You are still carrying her around. True or not? The mind is still holding. But I already let go. It's the same thing that happened to me when I was conducting my meetings with all my staff. And then of course I reprimanded, I scolded them because they were not doing the things correctly. I was saying this is not the way you do it. After the meeting, one of them came to me. Datuk, I thought you are a Buddhist. The Buddhists never get angry, right? Who said Buddhists cannot get angry? Buddhists can get angry, but not for a long time. And then you simpan, let go. So see how fast. And most of us, we are able to do this. And the moment we are angry, the next moment we are not. And then we are back to square one. Okay. So this is what we call the ability of letting go. And this is a very good concept that makes us successful in life. And a lot of people value your qualities because you are able to actually be free from all the grasping. The next one is called management of changes. Managing change is a very important fact and practice. Because there are a lot of changes that is going to happen in our life. A lot of crises also. You expect this thing to run like that, suddenly you go the other way around. And then if you are not able to deal with it, that changes is going to give you a lot of dukkha. But understanding that all phenomena that is conditioned to exist are subject to change. Impermanence, anicca. And since all phenomena are subject to impermanence and anicca, When you change, change lah. It's like this girl and this boy, they say they love each other very much. They tell each other, 我永远永远喜欢你. I love you forever and ever. One fine day, the boy come and tell the girl, 以前喜欢啊，现在不喜欢了. The girl said, you cannot change your mind. You must always remain loving me or liking me. The boy said, no, last time, yes, no. So if the girl cannot accept that change that has taken place in her life, what does she do? She climbs up to the top of the twin tower and tell Lucy. Because you cannot accept change. Same thing, the Buddha always advises. Old age, sickness and death are inevitable. We will have to meet it one day. We will grow old. It's a matter of time. We will become sick. It's a matter of time. One day we will die. It's a matter of time. And when it happens, and we cannot accept it, that's where the misery and the dukkha will then arise inside our life. But if we understand anicca, anatta, dukkha, there is always impermanence. There is no permanent entity that you can grasp and hold, because it will never be permanent. So if you want to hold on to a permanent entity and you want it to remain permanent and it doesn't, then you are going to be disappointed. Anicca, impermanent. Anatta, no permanent entity for you to grasp. Dukkha is when you are holding to a permanent entity and it doesn't remain. That's when you become disappointed and unsatisfied. Anicca, anatta, dukkha, and all characteristics of phenomena that happens, whether it's your life, whether it is the environment, whether it is the form that you experience, they are all subject to this anicca, anatta. And when the Buddha makes us understand that, whenever any changes that takes place in our lives, it's part and parcel of nature. It's a natural phenomenon. And since it's no nature, so natural, why are we so disturbed by it? So when your mind thinks like this, your mind then let go. Your mind then be free from it and says, since everything changed, then I'm not going to attach to it. There's nothing for me to attach actually. Ko. Anatta. Or in Mahayana, we call it Sunnah. There's nothing for you to hold. Since there's nothing for you to hold, then you hold. And once you can understand this concept, then the mind is then. And when you are in corporate sectors, when you are in company, when you are working, when you are living with other people in life, a lot of things are going to change. It never become what you expect all the time. And if you are able to deal with changes and manage changes, then you have actually become a much positive and better person. In other words, the art of managing changes is when we can accept changes in our life. And acceptance is always a very pleasing feeling when you accept it. In other words, when you are about to grow old and you see the first wrinkle in the face, a wrinkle, enjoy the wrinkle. And be proud of your white hair. Be proud of what we call your age. When you are sick, well, everybody will be sick. Since I'm sick, that's why the Buddha has always advised, when your body is sick, don't allow your mind to be sick. And it's true, it happened to me when I was about 19, the first year of university. Suddenly all my limbs started to swell. I couldn't walk. It was so painful, I cannot walk. I was warded in the hospital and put on a bed. And the bed has a signboard at the back there. CRID. You know what is CRID? Complete rest in bed. Cannot even get down from the bed. Say, I'm such an active person, I was a sportsman, I was playing football, I was playing rugby, I was a 100 meters runner. At the end of the day, complete rest in bed. Tahan. So, when I was in Sunday school, they taught me one of the Dhamma verses. When your body is sick, don't allow your mind to be sick. At that time, sini masuk, sini keluar. But when you are in that situation, the words ring out very meaningfully. And suddenly you realize the meaning of it and says, yeah, I am sick. Yeah. But I'm not going to allow my mind to be sick. I'm going to enjoy my hospital stay. So I told the nurses, I told the doctors, I said, okay, since I can still eat, I'm going to enjoy my food. You must give me 2 kai pei every day. And they served me all the best food. And I had a nice time with all the nurses, young nurses. 19 years old, man. 1 month passed. I'm still in the hospital. But I never had any difficulties. 1 month later, the doctors came scratched his head and said, I don't know what to do with you. I can't keep you in the hospital all the time. I might as well let you go home and rest at home. Because I can't find anything wrong with you. So eventually I went home, rested for another month. I went back to university and I continued. That was age 19. I'm now 64. Still alive. When your body is sick, don't allow your mind to sick. A lot of Dhammapada verses. At that time when we hear it, no meaning one. Sini masuk, sini keluar. It's like hatred is not overcome by hatred. By love alone is hatred cease. But when you meet a situation where someone hates you, then you say, what to do? Then you remember the Buddha's words. The Buddha says, hatred is not overcome by hatred. By love alone is hatred cease. So there was this time when I was parachuted, headhunted, parachuted into the organization. I became a very senior position. There was this CFO who was actually eyeing for this position. He wanted to be there. But since I'm there, he cannot take away. So he was very antagonistic, he was sabotaging everything. He was actually very angry with it. So whenever you talk to him, he refused to answer. To say how to deal with this fellow, he's my CFO. So I said, okay, what did the Buddha say? Hatred is not overcome by hatred. By love alone is hatred cease. I'm going to love you. So what I do is, every morning when I go to the office, I see him, I will say, hi, good morning, Mr. So-and-so. No answer. For a certain period of time, no answer. Just good morning, but no answer. One fine morning, when I say good morning, and from then onwards, the good morning becomes a little bit nicer and nicer and nicer. Again, hi, good morning, and good morning. And he says, would you like to join me for breakfast? Oh yeah, okay. We go for breakfast. Would you like to join me for lunch? Oh, okay. After some time, we all go for lunch together, go for breakfast together. And when we work very late, we go for dinner together. Lucky we never go home together. This guy is now my best friend. We are still together. Of course, we are not in the same company, but we are still meeting each other, having his son just got married. I went there a few weeks ago. That guy was the one who was very antagonistic, but I refused to accept. Hatred is not overcome by hatred, by love alone is hatred. There you are. What did the Buddha say? And we apply it in our daily practice. Next one is, of course, anger management. We must be able to manage our anger. Because when we are angry, we breathe very short. Correct? And short breath is never good for your health. Remember, the amount of oxygen that you consume into your body is actually the one that is going to rejuvenate all your cells. So if you have a lot of short breath, it's going to be bad for your health. And you are definitely going to get a lot of sickness. So at the end of the day, don't be angry. So you must learn to be angry, but not for a long time. So that's one of the ways to have anger management. Next one is on feng shui. Feng shui is actually the Ti Cai. Remember I was talking about Ti Cai. You have Tian Cai, you have the seed. But if you don't have the feng and shui, the environment, the natural energies that is around you, if you never align yourself with it, you will never be able to allow that germination to take place. Now, feng shui is actually common sense. Because everything that you experience is formed by these two energies, the wind and the water. The mountains are formed by the wind and the water. The sea is formed by the wind and the water. All the features that you see are all formed by the wind and the water. And therefore, we learn how it behaves. We learn how it runs. And we live in harmony with it according to that forces. There's this famous story about when the Buddha was passing away. It's a story, but let's see how this story works out. There was this story about the Buddha when he was passing away. He had a position to lie down. And it is said that he lied down on his right. And he was facing east. And he is in the north-south direction. Is that superstitious? Or is that scientific? Now when we say we lie on our right, why do we lie on our right? You go to Kushinara and see the Buddha lying on his right. Why do you lie on the right? Where is your heart? It's pumping to the left. So when you are actually lying on your left, is your body weight compressing on the heart compartment? So your heart now will. But when you are lying on your right and your heart is now dangling and pumping on a free space, which is much more relieving and pleasant and peaceful. So therefore you know the directions. With the directions which is the best for you. When you are facing east, why was that direction important? Sunrise from the east. Or the Buddha is going to appear in the east. Now remember, our earth is a rotating earth. Yes. Correct? Yes. Our earth rotates. Yes. That's why we have morning sunrise and sunset. Our earth is rotating from the west to the east or the east to the west. Huh? East to the west. No, the rotating of the earth is from the west to the east. That's why the sun rises in the east. Right? If you are rotating to the east, that's why you are now going to the sun, and the sun appears and becomes higher and higher and then sets. So you are actually rotating to the east. So when you are facing the east, are you facing the direction that the earth is rotating? When you are facing the east, because your earth is rotating to the east. Correct? Imagine you are sitting in a train. In a train. The train got two seats. One seat facing this way and one seat facing that way. Which seat is most comfortable? Where you are sitting on the seat facing the direction that the train is moving, or you are sitting on the other side where the train is leaving. I remember there was one time when my car was towed by a tow truck. And since we got now no place in the tow truck to sit, and we had to actually follow the tow truck. So we sat inside the car, but it was terbalik. facing the other way where the tow truck is towing you this way. Oh, it was dizzy. We vomited. It was very uncomfortable. So you always have to face the direction where you feel most comfortable. When you are lying down facing east on your right, your head is in the north or your head is in the south. You are facing east and you're lying on your right. Your head is facing north or facing south? The head is in the north or south? South. South, isn't it? And your leg is in the north. Now imagine, this earth of ours, it's a huge magnet, isn't it? That's why you have a north pole and a south pole. And it's magnetic north and magnetic south. Imagine if you have a magnet with the north pole and the south pole. How does this magnetic force runs? You take a magnet with the north and the south. You put a piece of paper and then you throw some iron filings and you shake the iron filing. Can you see the lines? Yes. That shows the forces of the electromagnetic and light energy. So, if you are in the south, you point the compass. Does it point to the south or point to the north? If you are in the south, You have a compass, north-south compass. You are in Australia, and you have a north-south compass. The compass point north or point south? North. If you are in China, in the northern hemisphere, your compass point north or point south? Still north. So therefore, the compass is pointing the direction where the energy is flowing. So if you are in the south, it's also pointing to the north. If you are in the north, it's also pointing to the north. Therefore, the energy is moving from the south to the north. That means the lines is moving. There's a lot of electromagnetic force there. Now imagine if you go to a waterfall, and the waterfall is running water down along the waterfall, and you always like to lie on the waterfall, isn't it? You lie on the waterfall and the water rushes through you. The water is now rushing from the top, past your head, down to your body, and then out from the leg, and then moved off. Do you like to do the other way around? With the leg pointing there, and then the water past your leg, then goes to your head, and go down. You feel like you're slipping on. That's exactly how the mental or the mind is being pacified by the positions that you are aligned with. Because this whole universe of ours, the energy that's around us, they all run in orbits, they all run in rotations, they all run in circles, and the stars also goes in one round. That's why you have the constellation, you have the zodiac, you have what we call the Virgo, the Sagittarius, and you are born under the Taurus. Same thing with the Chinese 12 animals. Why? Because at a certain time, the alignment of stars will be like this. So you are born under the alignment, and that is called a cow, then you behave like a cow. Then you are born under the zodiac of a kambing or a goat, and then you are having the characteristic of a goat, like me, afraid of rain. Takut hujan. When hujan comes, you will cry like that. Somehow or other, you get certain characteristics that is aligned to your zodiac. And then same thing with your months. You are born in the month of August, you are Virgo. You are born in the month of March, you are Taurus. All this relates to the astronomy and the stars. That is called feng shui. Directions, planetary astronomy, and we learn about this in order to align the energies. So it's actually understanding the energy flow. Like for example, when you are placing your house, you like to place your house at the head of a T-junction. Why? And they say the antu cannot see one. You will charge, go straight line. So if it happens to your house, it's in front, it will go into your house. All the antu will go inside your house. But actually a T-junction is when the cars are moving. Let's say like, your house is there, and your master bedroom is always the front. So at night, when the car is coming to your house, the headlight is shining. Does it shine into your house? And it shines into your bedroom? And then eventually it has to turn right or left, isn't it? Then you will turn right. Then you will turn left. Then you will turn right. The whole night turn left, turn right. You think you can sleep or not? Cannot sleep means cannot wake up well. Cannot wake up well means cannot decide well. Cannot decide well means we fatal. Can get sick also. Then we have not enough sleep. The same thing, of course, is every day when you are sitting in your living room and you know that you are in a T-junction, and that one day the car got no brakes up, and it has happened, you know. It comes charging into the house. So you always live with that subconscious fear. Can sleep or not? Cannot sleep. Cannot sleep, can wake up well. Cannot wake up well, can fatal. So that's why you say you must follow feng shui in order to fatal. Alright, so this is just the principle of it. And of course, laughter is very important. We must laugh a lot. And laughter is the best medicine. So enjoy yourself. Have good fun. Have a lot of what you call positive thinking. At the same time, you always move one step at a time. Because our mind can only do one thing at one time. We cannot do two things at one time. When we are happy, we are not unhappy. When we are unhappy, we are not happy. We cannot be happy and unhappy same time. That one is called xiao liao. But because of this quality of our mind, it's part of the characteristic of the mind. It's under our what we call citta niyata. It is this characteristic of the mind that when we don't want to be happy, then we will be unhappy. So if you want to be happy, then don't be unhappy. In other words, if you want to be happy, then don't have unhappy thoughts. And when you get rid of all your happy thoughts and dwell in happy thoughts, then your mind is happy. And that gives us hope in life. We don't have to remain permanently unhappy. We can change from unhappiness to happiness. So with all these qualities and understanding of the Buddha's teaching, it actually certainly will then lead to a lot of success in our life. So with that, I hope I have given you some ideas. So may you all be successful.